escape the dungeon.
Hello, everybody. This is Escape the Dungeon, the podcast where we ask you to join us as we explore the world beyond the world's oldest role-playing game. My name is Mike Cripps, and I will be your host and game master, and I am so excited to be joined by three stellar... Get it? Stellar? We're playing a space game. Stellar players. Zach Brass.
Hi, I'm Zach.
Dom Brass.
Yeah, I'm Dom.
Nate Brass.
That is me.
Each season of this show, we will be playing a different tabletop role-playing game. This season, we are playing Scum and Villainy, a Forged in the Dark game published by Evil Hat Productions. This is a game where my players will be playing as scoundrels and thieves and bounty hunters in a galactic space setting. Some might say in a galaxy very far away many years ago.
I don't think it was many years ago. I mean, we have, space technology. I mean,
Sorry.
And I'm a human, I'm pretty sure. I think.
Yeah, but there's infinite possibilities.
I certainly look like a human. It's true. Maybe I'm from a galaxy where humans evolved longer ago and figured out space travel.
Oh, definitely.
Or maybe it's like cyclical, like in the original Halo trilogy.
Oh, yeah, no, it could be like a cyclical thing. Wait, does that mean we're all gonna die?
Well, I mean, no, hopefully. I mean, eventually.
So this is actually a historical documentary. We're doing an historical interpretation of the galaxy before our own.
Yes, this is historical. This is nonfiction. This is true crime. We're getting in on that big true crime market.
What's up, ladies?
If you'd like to hear a little bit more about us discussing our inspirations for this kind of game and tropes and set pieces and story ideas that we're really excited about, you can go back and listen to the episode 0 of this campaign that we're going to be releasing at the same time as this. If you don't care about that bullshit, just keep listening, because we are going to start playing shortly. I just want to take a brief moment to introduce how we are approaching this podcast. And that is that we want to play different role-playing games, and we thought this was our best way to do it. We are actively learning how to play this game as we go. We are going to try our damnedest. We're going to try our best to play it rules as written, to be good players of this game that so many people worked so hard on. But we're going to make mistakes. We are newbies to this. We've played like 2 sessions of this before this game. So bear with us if we don't get things 100% right.
We're going to kill it. It's no big deal. I'm not worried.
Okay, well, look, I'm not worried about it because it is what it is. We tried. You go as many of the rules as you can, but it kind of happens.
It's going to be perfect.
I'm sure
we will make no
going
mistakes.
to, if there's anybody that listens to this, being as this episode 1, who knows, you're all going to tell us in the comments how we did everything wrong, and you know what? Thanks.
No,
good to
get
know.
out of here. We don't want to know. We did it perfectly. Nothing was wrong.
But also, we're planning to basically record this entire season before we even drop the first episode. So if we do get something wrong and you yell at us, we're not going to know for like a year and a half. So
yeah, that's a good point. And the other thing is, I Oh, you know what? It's going to take us so long to do this season. It's not even topical. I want to point out that we've totally just been super slow going. This has nothing to do with the whole stuff with Wizards of the Coast. Genuinely, we've been planning on doing this forever. It just happens to kind of line up that we're recording these first episodes pretty much right after all that happened.
This is not topical at all, okay? That was like 2 years ago.
Well, yeah, probably.
Do you guys want to start playing?
Yes!
Yeah, let's get going.
Let's go.
Welcome to the Procyon Sector, a meager corner of space warred over by the factions of the iron-fisted galactic hegemony, ruthless syndicates of criminals, and strange followers of unknowable cosmic weirdness. Truly, the Procyon Sector is home to some of the most desperate souls in the galaxy, and few are more desperate to put credits in their pockets than a trio of fledgling bounty hunters, the crew of the Phoenix 13.
That was perfect.
That actually was. Space Dandy so much. No, that was really...
I loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it.
As our music fades, a spaceship starts to heat up, the flames flickering on the sides of it as it enters the atmosphere of a lush green planet, as it perilously plummets, being pulled by the gravity towards the planet itself. We see the Phoenix 13, a burnt orange rust bucket of a spaceship that used to be a tow truck and a taxi until it was recently refitted, reconfigured into the starship of a group of bounty hunters. As this ship pulls in and docks, it like skitters on the ground, puffs of exhaust and smoke just like squelching off of it. This thing is in rough shape. But it pulls into a dirty and sketchy, skeevy looking spaceport in the middle of a jungle. And as the Phoenix 13's hangar bay doors open up and the inside of the ship depressurizes, a trio of individuals step outside. First, out of the ship and into the sweltering, oppressive heat of this jungle planet is the captain of the ship. Zach, would you please describe the captain?
Well, Crash Jordan steps out of the ship. He, because of the sweltering heat, is not wearing his signature red leather jacket. Instead, it's kind of over his shoulder as he judges the situation, trying to debate whether or not he should just wear it anyway to look cool. But, he's tall, looking with a tall, good-looking guy with a sparkling smile and jerry curls. He just steps out and takes a big old breath of fresh air and says, nothing like that first breath, as he steps on over down the ramp.
And following him shortly after is the ship's pilot. Nate, would you please describe the pilot?
Yeah, Cypher, walking out, stands around 6 foot. They are a clearly jailbroken older model Urbot. Like originally clearly painted probably nearly everywhere like a vibrant taxi cab yellow. A lot of it has been scratched off and kind of dents and marks more all over them. They're kind of like a wiry skeletal with like wires and tubes kind of filling in to, their like musculature for like a full android effect. And their face is kind of like they have a giant green visor, and that's like a screen with a smaller kind of square screen under for their mouth, with like green animations kind of filling in their pupils and their mouth to kind of convey emotions as they speak with others.
Yeah, and as Cypher steps out onto this sweltering heat, as Zach said, of the planet Akiti, your visor, eyes, and mouth definitely just like steam up from the sudden humidity.
You just hear like a fan kick into high gear as if you've just started a really intense game on your computer.
And shortly after Cypher walks down the ramp of the Phoenix 13 comes the third and final member of the crew, the Doctor.
Yes.
Dom, would you please describe the Doctor?
All right. So Gorpheus, the medic, steps out. His code name is Triage. So he's a short, stout reptilian squid man, if that makes sense. He's just a scaly squid guy. He's got tentacles sort of draping all around his mouth and his beaked mouth kind of. He's got he's got whiskers. He's got whiskers, guys. He wears a gray cloak that's held together by a silver buckle, and it opens up on the right side, where he has a third arm that drapes over to his other shoulder, always sort of clutching around his shoulder. And other than that, he's just a dude.
Other than the squid person thing.
Yeah. Beyond that stuff, he just looks like a guy.
What color is his skin?
It could be. It's probably sort of blackish, brownish, but with a sort of maroon tint. Maybe, I don't know. That seems like a good move. Cool. I don't know. Mike looks like he's not into it.
I'm super into it.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
Just a dude.
Yeah, and
also just a regular squid dude.
He's the general vibes manager of the ship.
What is Gorpheus's assessment of the vibes when he walks down the ramp and sees the sort of squalor and mess of this barely holding together base camp in the middle of a jungle? You see that there are there's like large perimeter walls with messily dressed, scrappily dressed guards sort of manned atop it, staring out into the jungle.
General vibes, it's pretty good. It's nice to get away a little bit.
Stretch your legs. Nothing better than a good green planet, you know? Rich in oxygen. Really gets the blood flowing, if you know what I mean.
It helps open your eyes when you can see the world and you can feel it breathe with you.
You know, it's just for a little excursion.
Yeah.
Can't stay away from the skies too long.
Yeah, well, truth is always in the skies. But in a certain way, we're all here together, man. So, you know. I don't know.
I'm digging it.
All right.
All right. Let's well, anyway, looking around at this sketchy spaceport. Make sure you lock the ship and bring the keys. But let's get on our way.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see that some of these guards that are sort of milling about the spaceport are giving the three of you a side eye. Nobody's like rushing towards you. You don't see any like security checkpoints or anything that you have to walk by, but people are aware of you. And they're sort of letting you know before they start going about their own business.
When one of them gives me this stink eye, I just hold up two of my fingers on my my sort of third hand, just like, hey man, what's up?
And Gorpheus, I mean, you would immediately clock that you are the only Xeno around that you can see, sort of in the docking bay of this spaceport. Everyone else is human in here except for you and Cypher.
It's cool, man. I'm comfortable in my own skin.
Crash, you get a little ping on your like big bulky portable communicator. And you can see
It looks like the Matrix cell phone.
Yeah.
It's got the action button too, so when I press it, like, slides down, like, to see the screen or whatever.
And you see a message from a contact in your communicator, your friend Aura, who has written to say, saw your hunk of junk pull in, meet me at the cantina.
All right, boys, lunch on Aura.
Yeah, so the three of you start to travel through Base Camp 1, perhaps the only base camp on this planet, as you head towards what looks to be a small, like, bar. You walk into this cantina. It's almost like a little tiki bar, open air, so you're still feeling the heat from the sun and the jungle all around you, that horrible humidity. But you see that it is not super populated in here right now. There's a few people milling about, sitting at the bar, again stare at you. But Crash, you clock across this bar here a friendly face maybe not being the best word, because you see your old contact Aura, who is a Xeno who is sort of just like a blob of gooey purple ooze with like one eye that just floats in the middle of it. And as you clock Aura, a little tendril of goo raises to wave at you and gesture for you to come over.
We kind of shuffle on over. Man, lively crowd, huh?
And as Aura speaks and their body just kind of like jiggles, the sound they make is just blah, 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 blah. But because this is, a space game, you can all perfectly understand. As
We read the our characters read the subtitles.
Yeah, looking down as he talks.
Oh, Crash, it's so good to see you. These must be the crew members you told me about. It is a pleasure to meet you, my new friends. A friend of Crash's, a friend of
My
mine.
God, we made new friends today. This is a good day. This is a good start.
Blub 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 blub. It is an honor to meet you, good sir.
Yes, the pleasure is all mine.
as a tendril of ooze reaches out from the body of Aura, grabs like a small pitcher of liquid, that is like orange colored, and just raises it up and dumps it all over their body.
You see it slowly dilute.
This planet is not ideal for my composition, but it was the best place to meet to discuss this opportunity that I have for the three of you.
All right, beautiful. So, what's the job?
Well, I understand that you are in the business, so to say, of exotic wildlife. Would that be the best way to put it?
Well, we certainly dabbled. I flash back to us trying to capture various animals for people, and, you know, naturally, as anyone knows, it's probably a pain in the ass capturing space animals. So, I'd say we're probably the best around, honestly.
Well, I will hope that your confidence is well placed, because you may just need it. You see, this planet, Akiti, it is home to one of the most dangerous creatures in the Procyon sector. The apex predators of the jungle are called Grand Pherenikes. They are dangerous, but to capture one would be worth its weight in credits. You understand?
Captain, this is perfect. My friend Yatu, he was just looking for something new to add to his collection.
Oh my. It never gets this easy. Where's the catch?
Well, the catch is that it is mating season for the Grand Phereniki. This is good and bad. They will be more active in the jungles, you see, but they will also be more active, if you understand what I am saying.
I think I understand. Wink.
I am very confused.
It's a biological thing, baby.
It is perhaps something you could use to your advantage, but also it is perhaps few things more dangerous than cornering an animal when it is looking to increase its brood.
Yeah, you could say that again. I know I certainly wouldn't be happy.
But this of course means that the creature's potent pheromones will be at their height. Now, the reason this is good for you is that Grand Phereniki pheromones are one of the most valuable substances in the galaxy to those who know how to use them.
Sounds interesting.
Oh, it's like drugs or something.
Yes, quite. They are often used in the production of psychedelics, is my understanding.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Well, who am I to get in the way of a good time? As long as you're not hurting anybody, or at least, you know, nobody that didn't deserve it. We'll pay you for it.
Yes, I would imagine that an interested party would pay quite handsomely for the capture of a Grand Phereniki. Alive, more valuable, but dead, still valuable.
Alright, everybody. You heard the man. Sounds like we got ourselves a job.
The trouble you bio just go through to get a little bit effed up, as you say. Me and my kind, all we need is a magnet, and we are perfect.
Well, not all of us are made of metal. Anyway, why don't we, you got any other information we should know about this thing?
know only a little of the Grand Fereniki, only what I have shared with you, but should you seek his wisdom, there is a renowned hunter of the Grand Fereniki, a man who goes by the name of Razor. Razor knows these creatures better than perhaps anyone in the Procyon sector. He has successfully captured many in his time. He could be worthwhile to seek out, though rumor is he works for dangerous clients. I would advise not getting on his bad side should you seek him out.
Razor, huh? What do you boys think? Should we mess with this guy? I don't know. A name like Razor sounds like he might be a bit of a cocky asshole, you know?
Captain, I have been searching all of my files and anything I could find on the internet on this meeting. It seems that the males will be on the hunt. So, I believe if we make a fake female and disguise it and play the sounds of a mating call, maybe we can convince this creature to come to us.
Ooh, that sounds like a good idea.
That's a pretty good idea. I think maybe we should go check out this guy Razor, though. Might have some, good intel.
You really think this guy could be a help?
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Yeah, he could probably.
I don't know. Well, I suppose we could take a look.
It is as you say. Whatever you say goes, Captain.
Yeah, that's right. Alright, so I guess we'll,
Well, you should know that Razor recently launched a expedition into the jungle to hunt a Fereniki of his own, but I would imagine such skilled hunters as yourselves should be able to track him down.
well, if he's looking for one of his own, maybe we should just follow and try to steal his.
Maybe, but, maybe we want to check on, maybe don't cross this guy yet. We don't really know if he's gonna.
We will show him we are the greatest hunters on this planet. Trademarked.
Okay, yeah. You know what? That's fine. Let's do it that way. I mean, the way will guide us either way, so it doesn't really matter.
It's him at his own game.
It just seems a little easier.
One last word of warning for you. While the jungles of Akiti are an untamed place, they do have game wardens, so to speak. Many Grand Fereniki tend to prowl the grounds that are watched over by a group of mystics who call themselves Vigilants.
Game wardens, eh? And vigilance. You know anything about the vigilance, Doc?
Do I know anything about the Vigilance, Game Master?
You would maybe have heard of them. And Aura continues.
They are a militant group. They see this place as sacred and holy. There's words that they have a temple within the jungle that they protect from outsiders who they see would seek to corrupt it.
Oh, Captain Crash, we shouldn't do this. Yeah, we don't want to mess with their religion thing going on. We get it trippy in their vibes.
Yeah, well, sometimes vibes need to be tripped, my friend.
You know what, Captain Crash, as soon as I start doubting you, you bring me back in.
That's my job. Anyway, So I think the best course of action would be for us to tail this razor guy and, well, maybe, pick up a few hints, and even better, we could just take the one that he captures. If we have to. I mean, it just seems like if he's such an expert, he could just go and get himself another one. All right, gentlemen, I think we've got our plan.
Good, just so we're all on the same page.
It's time to execute it. So, you said this razor, he's somewhere out in the jungle. I suppose we should track him down. Any idea where we might find him?
I only know that he launched an expedition with a few other hunters a few days ago. He should not be too deep into the jungle. At this point, I would imagine that such skilled hunters as yourselves could track him quite easily.
Well, you're certainly right about that. We're the best bounty hunters in this sector, so might as well just look for him ourselves. You're right. Just figured we'd follow up on the lead. Anyway, gentlemen, let's gear up and be off.
So it sounds like you guys are ready to launch into a job, which is one of the major gameplay segments of Scum and Villainy. Before we move into the job, you are still technically in free play. And so one of the things I want to throw out to you right now is if you guys have any more ideas on how you could gather information before you start the job, you're free to try and do that now. Try and keep specific planning to a minimum, because there's no point to it, because your plans will go wrong in this game. But if you think there's any information you could maybe find beforehand that could inform your decision on how you approach the job, you can do that now. Or you can hop on your speeder bikes, drive off into the jungle, and get started.
Now, hear me out. We could try to track this dude, but because of our special ability, Snatch and Grab, if we use a deception roll, it gives us better odds. So I'm saying if we turn one of our speeder bikes into a sexy whatever this thing is, I honestly don't know what they look like. I've been imagining Firebirds.
We were in different places.
I was imagining a giant bird, very colorful bird, because it's
I was imagining basically a hippo.
Oh, of course, I'm so sorry.
And as Aura pushes across a data pad on the bar here to show you guys what looks like a large reptilian cat kind of thing,
Nice.
Scaled, four-legged, razor sharp teeth and claws. It looks
this is going to be awful to try and capture,
but with a frilled neck like those lizards have. That's what it looks like.
Oh, snap. Yeah, that's not how I imagined it.
Yes, as I said, the apex predators of the Acadia jungle.
You know what? It's a jungle. This made way more sense than any of our ideas.
Well, I think it was reasonable for us to assume what we did.
I was thinking like a raptor, tropical bird that seems kind of jungly to me.
Yes, all reasonable assumptions. The book actually doesn't really say what these things are. It just has the name. But I thought that would be pretty cool if they were
No, I am a fan of how they look. I was saying this is what I thought they look like.
But yeah, so I'm saying if we do a deception,
Those were all fair assumptions.
but if you guys had a different engagement.
I'm surprised it doesn't have tusks.
Oh my god.
the name, you know? It just seems like a Tuscan animal.
A tusk.
At least saber teeth.
Yes, it is from Tuscany.
No, I see the tusks. That would have made sense, but no, I don't know.
I never thought tusks.
Well, yeah, you thought bird, which I thought was weird, but, you know, I kind of see it now.
All right, guys, actually onto the engagement roll now. Please, I've tried this 6 times and you guys keep going back to characters' voices.
All right. Well, no, I was
being
trying to
all
say.
right, back to my voice. Nope, Dom's still talking with a British accent.
Okay.
Well, hey, look,
No.
I had something to say.
No, he had something to say, and I riffed on it. But
Exactly.
I was gonna say that, okay, just so we're all on the same page, dressing up our speeder like one of these things, that's not a good idea.
And then
right?
playing like the audio of their mating call.
No, I gotcha. I get what you're saying. I love it. I don't think it's a good idea, but that's my
it's not a
first
good
instinct.
idea.
Just so we're on the same page.
Well, like we get it on our tail and then we kind of like drive away as it chases us. And then it becomes like a fun chase where we're being chased while we're chasing the thing.
Well,
It's
you
a
were
chase
talking about
sandwich.
preparation.
Chase it into trap.
Well, we need to pick what style of job this is going to be.
Yeah, so Mike, you were talking about like not planning so much as preparing, yeah?
Yeah, so one of the aspects of the game is you guys can always kind of freely gather information about something if you can sort of pitch the idea of what kind of information you're looking for and how you might go about looking into it. But to prepare or to plan super thoroughly for like, first we're gonna break into the building and then we're gonna sneak past the guards.
Yeah,
like,
don't do that. We
that
get it.
is the
That's-
kind of preparing that is not even worth getting into because it's just never gonna work the way you think it is. But feel free to try and get information ahead of time that can inform your decision for how you want to approach a job.
Okay, so when you say ahead of time, I was thinking maybe I did some research on the botany of this planet.
Yeah.
And maybe listen to some podcasts. And I think that's probably what my character did in preparation. It's all about like specifically a little bit of wildlife, or like animals, but mostly like flora and fungi and that.
Yeah, so definitely we can call that a gather information role. So how these kind of roles can work is sometimes it might just be a straight up fortune roll. We roll one die and see how successful you are. But if you are taking like a certain kind of approach, maybe we might use some of your action skills for that. Is there like a particular skill you think is relevant to how you were approaching that, listening to your podcasts and whatnot?
So definitely study. I don't have that though. So,
So you roll at disadvantage.
attune doesn't really make sense for what I'm envisioning, and neither does anything else I'm good at.
Okay, so we can just
So-
make a straight fortune roll then to see how that is going to be. So all the dice rolls in this game are D6s, six-sided six-sided dice, and you will roll a certain amount depending on your proficiency level in a certain thing. But for a straight fortune roll, just go ahead and roll one six-sided die and tell me what you get.
Literally not a single one of us has trained in study at all.
Classic. Let's go. That is 3. So
Okay, well.
nailed it.
And I do need to set the effect level of this. I think you can get standard effect on this. Give me 1 second. Just reading some rules real quick.
Read away!
I'm just gonna say this in this downtime, but I know you guys think my plan sounds insane, but I'm just saying mechanically it's probably like an extra plus 2 or 3 dice
God
compared to
damn
all
it.
of the others. Like mechanically, it's actually a way smarter
But
plan.
remember, you can also lose dice if you have like a particularly bad plan or whatever.
I mean, I think it makes a lot of sense as a good plan.
I think it makes a lot of sense to get
Uses
that
the
thing
vulnerability
near us.
that we were given, and like it's in our wheelhouse. You don't think there's just some noises of these like monsters fucking on the internet that we can just pull up and like play on our
Blast through the
speakers?
speakers. No, I totally am down for this. I don't think it's crazy. I think it's amazing.
So, Dom, you can basically ask a question relevant to what you were trying to look into. And because this was a standard effect, and you rolled a 3, you're gonna get incomplete or partial information, but you will get some information. So, because you're getting reduced effect because that was a not super great roll.
Yeah.
So what would you like to know? If you look at the bottom of your Roll20 character sheet, you're going to see some sample questions for gather information, such as, what might I suspect about this? What can I prove? What's the danger here? What's really going on here? Ask about a detail for a plan. So what would you like to know?
Can I go with what's the danger here for 10 points?
You would know as you're listening to your podcast hosted by a respected xenobotanist. You would learn. Akidi, home of some of the most dangerous carnivorous planets this side of the hegemonic throne. Ah, yes, if you are traveling through Akidi, which you frankly shouldn't, be on the lookout for wayward vines and branches, for you never know what is just a plant, and which is a plant that is looking for its lunch.
That was so good.
And then they just got into a conversation about politics and I tuned it all out.
This is why we must raise our taxes to further colonize Akidi beyond the humble Base Camp 1, which is, quite frankly, barely holding itself together under the direction of that incompetent lead guard. And that's when you're like, okay, this is too much.
Call 977 to donate now.
All canon, by the way. Okay. Is anyone else doing anything to prepare?
Dressing up the personal vehicle like lizard cat.
Could you say the name one more time? Sorry, Mike.
A Grand Faraniki.
Grand Faraniki.
How did you guys not think monkey?
Yeah, that'd be a good monkey name.
I thought like Monster Hunter Monster, like
Yeah, I thought like a monkey.
Seems like a bird dinosaur thing. Grand Faraniki. I don't know. I imagine like a colorful plumage.
No, okay, yeah, no, I see it. That's a giant coot-coot.
I don't know. I just saw a giant hippo.
So yeah, I think I'm Googling Grand Faraniki mating calls. And we're like spray painting.
I thought you meant in real life.
Like
No, we're making like a big canvas costume.
yeah, like just using some cardboard and then some holograms and like some spray paint to like all mix together to make kind of like a blurry
literal trash that we stole from like some, maybe some styrofoam stuff that we just like formed that we stole from a, dumpster or something somewhere. Like, we use this stuff. This is important. we're making this thing like the color and vaguest of shapes, like this cat thing. Some fake legs that are just gonna
it
dangle
sounds
as
like
we fly.
you're pretty set on doing this as a deception plan.
100%.
And as a deception plan, the detail that you need to provide to kick off the plan is the method of deception, which is, of course, like a Looney Tunes cartoon, just dressing your space motorcycle up like a sexy lizard cat. And
I just want to clarify that
It's just got like a or it's just a blonde wig.
lipstick on the
They
front.
usually don't wear clothes, but it's wearing a really tight dress and has cleavage.
well, how else is it supposed to know that it's a female, right? If you don't.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
And we didn't want to,
Well, look, the
silly.
audience needs to know what we're going for, so
yeah,
it's a design
people would be
choice.
confused.
Yeah.
Obviously.
So look, we dress this thing basically in a tarp the color of these creatures, more or less. And we play some mating calls through the speakers. We probably have some Bluetooth speakers because I imagine these vehicles don't have like great speakers.
They
for
have
playing
cassette.
stuff.
They have cassette players.
I have a stereo in my chest. It's cool.
Oh no.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure, guys.
So as you guys finish up your preparations on your deception to hunt a Grand Faraniki, you kick your hover bikes into gear, you start driving into the jungle, and what we need now to kick off the job truly is an engagement roll. Now this is basically to determine what the status of this job is as you face the first major hurdle, the first major obstacle that you'll need to overcome. Your role might be so good that we just narrate how you bypass this role, or it might be so bad to put you in a truly desperate situation to kick off this job. And we're gonna do that by rolling some dice, of course. As Nate has already mentioned, you are gonna get a bonus dice, technically. Because your crew is particularly good, allegedly, at using deception to capture a quarry. And that's what you're
I
trying
think
to
this
do
is
here.
the first time we've pretended to be a sexy animal.
I don't know. Cypher came to that idea very easily and quickly.
You know what? I was jokingly going to suggest the same thing, but I was just going to dress one of us up. So I'm like
Do you
completely
think
on
they
the
like
same page.
big butts? Should we make it a little larger?
I think that maybe we should put a little motor so the butt jiggles.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah, I can't see how it would hurt.
Mike, do you want to go over the engagement roll questions?
Yeah, so how this basically works is that you are going to start with just one die for sheer luck, one six-sided die just for the roll of fate. You're going to gain an extra die for basically every major advantage that you have in this plan, and you're going to lose a die for every major disadvantage that you have. If you wind up with 0 dice in your pool, that means that you have to roll 2 dice and take the lower result. You are going to start with 1 extra die from your special crew ability to put you up to 2. There are a few specific questions here. For example, is this operation particularly bold or daring? I'd be lying if I said it wasn't, so I'll give you an extra die for that. Does the plan's detail expose a vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest? Kind of, yeah, because you do know that it's mating season. So because I want to be generous with these, I'll give you an extra die for that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god. You know what?
Told
My
you
bad
guys.
for slamming.
I was, as soon as I heard it, are you kidding me? Immediately on board.
Here's the other thing, is that you're gonna lose some dice too.
That's
Oh,
fine.
no.
That's fine. I knew.
You're gonna lose some dice for basically the Grand Faraniki being of a higher tier than you. You guys have learned that it is the apex predator of this jungle, and you know what that includes you two. So because this is such a more potent creature, you're going to lose a die. Which will bring you down to 2. Is that right? Down to 3.
Yes.
You know what? I'm going to take off another die, though, because...
For fellow rivals also hunting this being?
Yes, yeah, because you know that there are maybe not enemies or rivals interfering with the operation, but you know that there's somebody else out here, Razor, who is looking to hunt one of these things himself. So that'll bring you down to 2. I'm debating knocking another one off just because the plan is so silly.
Bold and daring. We actually get a +1 for that.
Yeah,
That's what the
but-
game's for.
It is bold and daring.
Yeah, it's bold and daring. It's bold and daring. Okay. I won't take one off this time, but if you try a sexy motorcycle plan again, yeah, I'm taking a point off.
Okay, so
This is your one leeway. Sexy motorcycle.
I'll take it.
no,
All
I
right.
hear you.
That's fine. I think it's only fair for the pilot episode that we get to have a sexy motorcycle.
And sexy motorcycle, of course, will be the title of this episode. What an intro. Welcome to our podcast. So who wants to make the engagement roll? You're going to get 2 dice on this.
But yeah, I'm just gonna do it. I thought someone was typing, but I got a 7.
Oh
4 and a
no,
3.
it was your guys' plan. I figured you'd want to do it.
Oh no, I don't. It doesn't matter. So we got a 4 and a 3.
A 4 and a 3. So you, this game, you always just take the highest of whatever you roll. So that is going to be a 4. A 4 or a 5 on the engagement roll means that you are going to get a mixed result as you start the job, which means that you are going to be in a risky position when the action starts. And I think the action starts where as you guys get to the depths of this jungle, it is dark, it is hot, it is humid, alien animal sounds are chirping and screeching all around you. You break your bikes, you stop, you hop off, and Cypher, you start to play some music. The sweet music of Grand Phareniki mating calls. As these echoes just blast through the jungle.
They sure sound more like hippos than cats to me.
All the other sounds of the jungle cease, except for some rustling sounds nearby, as your presence here has awoken something. Something in the jungle, as almost wrapping around your feet, Gorpheus, you see plant matter start to move, but your podcast has made you aware and you are able to hop out from the encroaching vines as they start to wrap around you. As the Phareniki has not yet arrived, but you are now in the clutches of some carnivorous plants. And maybe that's where we end our first episode, guys. How does that sound?
All right, you're just gonna leave us on a cliffhanger like that?
Yeah.
I want to always leave you guys on a cliffhanger. That is my goal here, baby.
Just prepare
All right,
for
well.
season end cliffhangers, guys.
Yeah, you're never gonna know what happens as we change games. It's actually a multiverse kind of deal. So these characters are gonna accidentally get kicked onto.
Spoilers. Every season ends with one character about to die.
That would be the worst.
Every season.
Oh my god.
And we don't do second seasons.
I hope that you've enjoyed hanging out with us today on this first gameplay session of our Scum and Villainy campaign. We'll be coming at you again next week is what we would normally say, but we're probably going to drop a bunch of these at once for you, so you can start listening to episode 2 right now. Come on, do it while you're still listening to this. Load up that episode 2. Get out. Come on, don't you want to find out what happens next? Thank you for listening to Escape the Dungeon. Escape the Dungeon is created by Dom Brass, Nate Brass, Zach Brass, and Mike Cripps, with editing and original music by Tyler Niddle. If you enjoyed this show, please consider subscribing and leaving a 5-star review on your favorite podcast app. To find us on social media, go to escapethedungeonpod.com.